Orko Mata just arrived to the scene here at this breaking news that happened here, where the officer involved shooting happened earlier in this newscast. Let's get here to the news conference taking place now.
Who had locked himself in the residence. While we were trying to coax him out and render aid to her, he locked himself in and would not come out. They kept trying to lure him out, get him to come out, get him to come out. At that time, they noticed that there was smoke coming from the residence. It appears there had been a fire started inside somehow. And so they were still, now they're thinking about forcing entry to see if they need to render aid to him in there. But at that point, he opened the garage door, came out with 2 knives in his hand. At that point, one of the deputies discharged his firearm, and the suspect went down. The deputies rendered first aid, applied a chest seal, and then notified EMS. They came, they transported him to a local hospital. The fire marshals are here to investigate the fire. Our internal affairs division's here to investigate administratively the shooting, and the DA's office will be here also with their public integrity unit to investigate the officer-involved shooting. Right now, everything is preliminary. We're still reviewing body-worn cam footage, so some of this is subject to be adjusted later. And the deputy that discharged his firearm is approximately 31 years old, got about 7 years with our department. And the suspect that was transported to the hospital that was shot, he's approximately 47 years of age. And right now I'll take any questions.
When you said it's preliminary, when he had the knife, was he coming at deputies? Do you know at this point?
We're still going to review body-worn cameras on it, but the knives were on the scene on the ground. So
they're on the ground?
Yes. I mean, now they are.
Now they are?
Yes.
But when the garage door opened,
he had them in his hands, yes.
Chief, is that common protocol? If somebody's walking out with knives out of a garage, you just...
Well, knives are a deadly weapon. So, you know, if somebody's in fear of their life or a third party, they're allowed to use deadly force to protect themselves or another party. So, and once again, this is all preliminary. We're still investigating this. I'm just giving you an overview of what occurred. We're still looking into it. The DA's office will continue. We will continue administratively. And so that's where we're at on that. So that's why I preface it with some of this is preliminary and it's subject to change because that's what we know right now. So,
do you know how many times approximately this man was shot?
Right now, it's believed 1 time.
Did you all have any issues with him prior to this?
There is a history at this residence, but you know, that's going to be part of our investigation as well, trying to establish additional history. So,
and you believe it's his mom, right?
Yes, it's his mother that had. When we arrived, she had visible injuries, a knot on her head, and a laceration to her face as well, to where they had gotten into a disturbance inside the residence.
Did she have to go to the hospital?
She refused EMS, but was treated. So.
Any indications of emotional distress on the part of the suspect with the knives at all when that call came in? Did she mention that?
She didn't. Once again, that's under investigation. We don't know his mental state at this time, but that'll be part of the investigation.
Do we know the age of the suspect?
47 years old.
Do you mind repeating where he was shot at?
We believe up in the upper torso area, so upper chest maybe. But once again, he's at the hospital getting treated right now.
Forgive me if someone asked this already. I couldn't hear from back here. The person carrying the knives, was he running toward anyone, lunging toward anyone with the knives?
Well, once again, we're reviewing body-worn camera right now, and our homicide division will be taking statements from the deputies to determine exactly what they saw. And we will be releasing the body-worn camera within 45 days, which is our policy. And at that point, we'll be able to kind of give you more of a solidified idea of what happened.
Do we have a condition for the 47-year-old?
I don't have an updated, but he was alive whenever they transported him. But I don't have the latest update.
Do we know about what time that was when he was transported? Or how long ago?
Maybe 3 p.m. or so. Yeah.
So y'all were there for a while. How long were you trying to get him out? An hour and a half or so?
Yeah, it was about an hour and a half. I would say about an hour and a half. You know, because they were trying to coax him out and and render aid to the complainant at the time.
Were you able to figure out what the fire was coming from? Did you start obviously?
No, it was pretty dark, heavy smoke coming out of the house. But the fire marshals are here. They're going to be taking over that part of the investigation. So.
All right.
Thank you all.
It's believed that this gentleman started that fire.
Well, I mean, that's only an assumption on our part because he was the only one in the house, but we don't know. I mean, anything could have happened, but that's our assumption, but it's not fair to make those right now.
Just the mom and the son reside there?
Yes.
All right.
Thank you for being patient today. I know y'all are warm.
Thank you.
Mia Gradney, Lynn Cannon joining you now for KHU 11 News at 5. And we're leading off the 5 o'clock hour with breaking news in the Humble area. You've been listening to the Harris County Sheriff's Office debrief reporters there following a deputy shooting a man in Humble.
Yeah, that man allegedly set a house on fire. Happened this afternoon on Morning Dove Drive up in the Humble area. We heard investigators talking about the man coming into the garage, opening the garage door, and carrying at least one knife when he confronted the deputies who were then outside. And they say one of the officers then ended up shooting the suspect in the upper torso area. That man has since been taken to the hospital.
And the deputy also explaining that deputies' rights in that type of situation and being approached or met by someone with a weapon in that environment. A lot leading up to this, of course. We know there was a disturbance call, and that disturbance related to a fire. There's a lot to piece together. We're just learning the initial information from deputies there on the ground. We have a reporter on the ground as well. Our Orko Manna is working to find out more information. He just listened to that press briefing, also likely trying to be in touch with neighbors and people in the area to see what possibly they witnessed as well.
The other thing that the deputy mentioned is that 45 days they will have to release the body cam footage. Will give us a greater sense, but that'll take some time. Orko Manna, again, is live. Orko, update us.
Yeah, we just got an update from the Harris County Sheriff's Office about this. They say that this all started as a disturbance around 1:30 this afternoon when a man was apparently threatening and assaulting his mother inside one of the homes on this street. This is Morning Dove Drive in Humble. We're told that the deputies responded and tried to get that man out of that home, but he was not coming out and he was not responding to them. And so they, again, tried to get him to come outside. Eventually, that man did come outside, we're told, holding 2 knives. And that's when one deputy, a 31-year-old with the department, who's been with the department for about 7 years, fired at that man. We're told that he was shot once and he was taken to the hospital. The condition is unknown at this time, but authorities say that he was still alive before he left this scene here. I want to see if we're able to pan over. The press conference just ended, so we're trying to pan over here to give you a closer look at the scene. You can see that there are several law enforcement vehicles as well as fire department vehicles out here. That's because the sheriff's office says that it appears a fire was set in the home during this incident. They aren't saying for sure if that man set the fire intentionally, but we're told that he was the only one inside the home at the time. They saw smoke coming out of the home, and that's when that man came outside. Again, that man holding 2 knives, we're told, and one deputy shot him, and he is now in the hospital. We're still waiting to get some more details as to what exactly led up to this initial assault of the mother, alleged assault of the mother, but we are working to get those details from authorities out here. Still a pretty active investigation. Authorities stressing that this is preliminary information at this point. So again, we're waiting to get some more details from them about this. But again, to recap for you what we learned from the sheriff's office just minutes ago, that a man who allegedly was assaulting his mother inside one of the homes here was barricading himself essentially inside the home and then would not come outside when officers tried to get him to come out. Eventually, smoke coming out of that building, out of the home, allegedly the man setting a fire in that home, and then coming outside holding 2 knives. We asked if that man specifically lunged or ran at officers, at deputies with those knives, but again, we are told that that's still under investigation. They're still reviewing body-worn camera. That footage will be released in the next 45 days as is protocol here. So again, we're looking to get some more details here, but as of right now, what we know is that man was sent to the hospital and his condition is still unknown at this time. Reporting live in Humble, Orko Manna, KHOU 11 News.
It's been some afternoon. We'll let you get back to it. Orko, thank you.